Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Langston Hughes wrote those words in 1922. A mother's testimony to her son about the sheer grinding grit required to exist in a world that wasn't built for you. But sitting here now, in this moment, those words have taken on a different kind of weight. Not just historical, not just poetic, real. The kind of real that settles into your bones at 3 in the morning when you can't sleep, because the numbers don't add up and the future doesn't look like what you were promised. Let's take a look at that crystal stair. We were told it was coming, remember? Smooth, glowing, an escalator of technology that would do the heavy lifting while we finally rested. AI was going to be the polish, the seamless finish, the thing that made life soft. The stairs have turned back into bare wood, splintered by the very tools meant to save us. Here's the illusion. In the poem, the mother doesn't just say the stairs are broken. She tells you exactly what's wrong with them. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare, that word lands different now. In 1922, bare meant poor, meant exposed, meant the kind of poverty that leaves your feet cold because there's nothing between you and the wood. In 2026, bare means something else entirely. Bare is the family of 4 living in their truck because even with 2 incomes, they can't meet the rent requirement for an apartment that costs more than a mortgage used to. Bare is working 60 hours a week and still checking your bank account before you buy groceries. Bare is doing everything right, everything you were told to do, and still watching the floor fall out from underneath you. We are living in a society where the salaries haven't moved in years, but the cost of existing, just the basic price of shelter and air and keeping the lights on, has climbed into the stratosphere. That's not a splinter in the wood. That's a collapse that was seemingly built by powerful people based on design and greed. Just look around. Family, we are living a lie. We are living in a new age creator's world. The puppet master has the strings. When pulled or redirected, wealth flows one way, and it isn't to the people. Now, I understand that some of what I'm sharing is controversial, but it isn't meant to be. I literally endeavor to expose the veil so that those who can't see will catch a glimmer of perhaps it's worth looking into. Maybe this is worth taking a closer look at. Or avoiding the veil that's been covering our eyes to be removed before the covering. I'm reminded of the older generations before us, or those who perhaps are closed off to the world of big tech or politics. I often talk to my aunt about AI. She hasn't a clue, doesn't believe it exists, or at the very least, that its capabilities aren't as serious as I've made it out to be. It is my hope that we will all see for ourselves, open our minds, and not be distracted. Now, I realize that life will happen as it's supposed to. But wouldn't it be a little bit easier if we could see the stampede coming before it approaches us? We scroll through feeds where everyone else's floor seems carpeted in gold. Perfect homes, perfect careers, perfect productivity, AI-generated lifestyles that don't exist in reality. A crystal stair made of pixels and filters and carefully curated moments that leave us feeling like we're the only ones picking splinters out of our feet. The danger of that myth, the crystal stair myth, is that it makes the struggle feel like a secret. When you believe everyone else is gliding up, You're tempted to sit down on the steps because you think you're the only one who finds it kinda hard. But listen, there is radical power in the word bear. There is dignity in acknowledging that the floor is torn up. The most honest thing you can do right now is admit that the crystal is a lie. The climb is still a climb. The dark is still dark. Now, here's the algorithm staircase. What's different now? In the original poem, the mother knew where the tacks were. She knew the splinters were there because the wood was old and the system was rigged, and she had been walking those stairs long enough to memorize every broken board. In our world, the tacks are invisible. They're tucked inside lines of code, algorithms that decide who gets the interview, whose content gets seen, whose job gets pushed out of existence by a machine that doesn't hate you, but doesn't care about you either. We're navigating a staircase that is no longer static. It's moving, shifting, changing shape while we climb it. Every step we take is being measured, tracked, turned into a data point. And if we don't climb fast enough or in the right way, the algorithm tries to nudge us off the steps. People are losing jobs not because they stopped climbing, but because the staircase decided it didn't need that specific floor anymore. That's the part that breaks something in me. The dark isn't just a lack of light anymore, it's a lack of transparency. We don't know who's moving the board. Not really. Perhaps a few oligarchs, the wealthiest of us all. Even if we knew the why, I'd like to know at this point, what would it help? What could you do if the stairs suddenly tilted sideways? We just know that we're still standing on them, trying not to fall, trying to survive. Whatever that is. And meanwhile, the world outside is vibrating apart. You turn on the news and it's a global tinderbox. Ukraine, Iran, Israel, Lebanon. The names change, but the dread is the same. A chain reaction of violence that feels like it's leading to one inevitable conclusion. We're watching a surveilled world become our reality, tracked by the very devices we use to distract ourselves from the fact that we might be on the verge of something none of us knows how to stop. Is it any wonder people are heading for the mountains? Reports of families moving into underground bunkers, prepping for an end they feel in their bones. They're not fringe anymore. They're people who have looked at the staircase and realized the top floor is gone. They're looking for a landing that isn't made of glass. They're exhausted. We are all exhausted. Waking up every day into a script we didn't write. Playing characters in a world that feels increasingly like a digital panopticon, where every move is watched, every hesitation noted, every moment of weakness cataloged and filed away. And finally, we're becoming layers of data in a matrix we didn't expect to be a part of, that we didn't create for ourselves. We are nodes, no longer human in the sense of how we connect. I will always come back to this. We matter more to me than that algorithm, that amount of money, that flashy whatever that's supposed to impress people who aren't even paying attention. We need quiet. We need peace. We need to feel life, to feel it flowing through our veins, our minds, our souls. Feel it. Life growing. Progression toward humanity of hope rather than despair, even when hope seems so damn far away. The splinters are there. I see the staircase. I can feel the sunlight dancing on my skin, but that is a hinder to the brightness trying to show us better. That is the obstacle of all of our woes. that shines like a diamond but is merely a mineral glistening in the waves of water. That, let me tell you what that really is. That is the algorithm that tells you you're not enough. That is the economy that moves while you're standing still. That is the war that starts because someone decided profit mattered more than people. That is the feeling of waking up and realizing you become a ghost in a machine you never agreed to be part of. And the machine simply can't understand, not truly. Machines can't feel the heartbeat of stories from your family splinters or care, for that matter, as they pertain to you not being able to make the rent, put food on the table, or keeping on your lights. They don't know what it's like to have reached landings only to find another flight of stairs waiting in the dark. They don't know what it's like to keep climbing when your legs are shaking from the sheer weight of the overwhelm. When you're terrified that the next notification on your phone is going to be the one that says the grid is finally going down. The machine can mimic your voice. It can predict your next move. It can generate 1,000 versions of your face and your words and your thoughts. But it cannot replicate the sheer stubborn will to reach the next landing when there is absolutely no carpet on the floor. That's ours. That's human. That's the thing that can never take. And the mandate is not something to scoff at. The mother in the poem didn't have a crystal stair, but she also didn't sit down. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you finds it's kind of hard. That's the mandate. That's always been the mandate. Don't you fall now, because the moment we sit down, the overwhelming part of this new reality wins. The mother said she was reaching landings and turning corners, even when there was no light. That is us. We are the ones turning corners in the dark. We are the ones finding landings in a broken economy. We are the ones who have to look at each other, not as data points, nodes, or high-tech algorithmic problems waiting to be solved, but as fellow climbers. The world of AI and the grid wants us to be efficient, predictable, profitable. We are messy, stubborn, and some of us are professionals refusing to be replaced out of existence because the human part of us are here. It's a digital creator finding a voice when the platforms are trying to drown it out. It's the gardener, the researcher, the person who still cares about their fellow brother and sisters, even when the world is talking about bunkers and military attacks. We are living through a massive global remodeling of what it means to be human. The staircase we knew is gone. The new one is moving. It's digital. It's dangerous. But the mandate is the same as it was in 1922. For I still going, honey. I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. And the climb, we do not climb because we think the stairs will eventually become crystal. Let me say that again. We do not climb because we think the stairs will eventually become crystal. That dream is dead. That promise was broken before it was ever made. The crystal stair was always a hallucination, a reflection of something that never existed except in the advertisements and the filtered feeds and the voices that profit from your dissatisfaction. No, we climb because we are the ones who keep the staircase alive. As long as we are moving, as long as we are turning corners, reaching landings, even when we can't see the next step, the story isn't over. The dark only wins if you stay in it. If you're listening to this in your car because that's the only roof you have left, keep climbing. If you are staring at your screen, wondering how you're going to pivot your career for the 5th time this decade, keep climbing. If you are paralyzed by the news from overseas and the feeling that we are living through the end of an era, don't you set down on those steps. Your struggle today isn't a sign that you're failing. It's proof that you are still climbing. The difficulty is the weight of being human in a digital age. Life for us may not be a crystal stair, but as long as you keep your feet moving, the dark doesn't win. Turn that struggle into your message. Again, we aren't just data points. We are the ones who keep climbing even when the stairs are broken. And as you find your landing, let me leave you with this. The mother in the poem ends with a simple promise. She's still going, still climbing, still reaching for the next landing, even though she's never seen the top. That's where we are right now. We have miles to go before we reach the landing. Seeing the tacks, seeing the bare boards, seeing the splinters and the torn up places, and the spots where the carpet never existed, and climbing anyway, because that is the only way we reclaim our lives from the machines and the madness. Don't you sit down. Don't you fall now. For I still going, honey. I still climbing, and life for us ain't been no crystal stair. But we're still here, still moving, still turning corners in the dark. I'll see you at the next landing. Keep climbing. Until next time.